Hi everyone. Um, I am sharing today. I have an extremely hard time with sharing my innermost personal feelings with people. Um, uh, I am very, very normally extremely positive, outgoing, and willing to help people at no matter what the cost to me. Um, and at the same time, I have a hard time accepting people helping me. So, going back to my early childhood, I've been reflecting a lot, and as a child, I was extremely, extremely shy because of my hearing impairment. Um, I have 30% left in my, sorry, 10% hearing left in my left ear and 30% hearing in my right, and this has been this way since birth. And so that made me extremely shy, very introverted as a kid. As I, when I was 12, my mother passed away, and my father left, making sure that we were living with older siblings. And then he passed away a few years later. So I've had to be extremely fiercely independent, living on my own since I was 17 with a couple of jobs and going to school, but really too shy to go to school. Interaction, it was very difficult for me. I used to wear a hearing device when I was, I think, 9, 10, 11, 12, around there, for a couple of years, and I was allergic to the mold that the compound that the mold was made out of, and it caused severe ear infections, and so I was told not to wear the hearing device anymore. And I was quite happy, actually, because it was embarrassing to wear a hearing device. Anytime somebody would come within like a 2-foot radius of me, bells and whistles would kind of go off, causing much embarrassment to me. I have a lot of hair, so I could hide the hearing device, but if they came close, it was that type of thing that would happen. So I didn't wear it anymore, but it did do some good for me in the sense that I was now curious about the hearing world, as before I was very much a people watcher and didn't interact in conversations, even with my own family at times, a lot of times, and hid reading my books and playing in a huge storage closet that we had upstairs. Sorry. As I said, this is extremely difficult for me, and please bear with me. I'm going to try not to cry too much, as I've been doing that a lot in the last few weeks, and last night was a huge moment and a lot of tears. So, coming out of my hearing impairments, in the sense of I started to pay attention otherwise, and was able to read people, use my visual, and people really honestly can't tell that I'm hearing impaired in my normal everyday to-day life, because I've learned to make it work for me. I never ever saw it as a disability, but maybe a challenge to hear better in my world, or how I hear better than anybody else. So that's made me greatly intuitive. And I actually have learned from that, and so I appreciate that. And I like to learn every day, and self-awareness to me is crucial. Always has been, always will be. So I have a part-time job where I work 2 days a week. I don't love it, but it pays the bills. I love the people that I work with. That's my thing. I kind of love everybody, unless you're evil, and then of course not. But I love the people that I work with. I don't want to do it for the rest of my life. Um, I actually had a career and decided to break out on my own, which I'm trying to do now, but all my money that I have in order to do these events that I'm doing, I have to put the money into that event. And so that takes away money from myself, my cat. I don't have any dependents, which is a good thing in my world. I don't have anyone to rely on. I don't know if I could even rely on somebody, because again, that fierce independence since I was 17, that's a lot of years. I'm just thinking that's a lot of years. Oh God, that's 20 years, I think. I'm horrible at math. So because of my fierce independence, I have trouble taking. I can't do it. I feel uncomfortable. Even when somebody asks me out and I go out on a date and the bill comes, I get uncomfortable. Sometimes I don't even go out because I don't want to think about the bill. I don't want to have to deal with the bill. I don't want anyone to pay for me. So I'm struggling financially. I am looking for work, and I did go out on a couple of job interviews recently, and these people, maybe it was my naiveness, and seeing the good in everyone. I applied for a receptionist job at a holistic wellness center, and I've been to holistic wellness centers, and I love that. And when I was financially doing better, I'd gone to for massage, and for whatever it is, the reason I was needing to go at the time. Well, this one turns out that it was, what's the term? Rub and tuck? No, rub and tug. I left horrified, and I felt sorry for the women that were there, working there. And I wondered about their stories and how is it that they were able to do that. I could never do that. So I went online and I applied for another ad as a personal assistant to a bank executive, and went for the interview. We were meeting at a pub. Maybe that should have been a warning. I don't know. But I've been in meetings before that were on the up and up in a pub, so I thought, well, you give people the benefit of the doubt. You don't think that they're going to be some perv, which he was. I was sitting at the bar waiting for him. He was late, half hour, and a gentleman beside me started talking to me. He was alone as well. He started talking to me, and so then I got a text message from my potential employee, and he told me that he didn't like me talking to the gentleman that was beside me. Honestly, I was just giving him advice on his girlfriend issues. So that kind of threw me as well. I was upset coming home. Anyway, I got home and I decided to reach out and did a posting on Craigslist. All my life, I've been so nice to people, and I wanted to put this message out there to help anybody because I was overwhelmed with the response that I got from people on Craigslist. 400 to 500 responses at this point. It's been less than 24 hours. And the words of encouragement that I got were overwhelming to me and sweet, and people telling me their stories. And I'm very well aware that I'm not the only one, and there are people out there that are in worse situations than me. I've volunteered at soup kitchens and Feed the Streets, where I've gone out and helped the homeless. And every day in my life I try and do good for somebody somewhere, even if it's just a hug, a smile. It's just in me to do that. I need to do that every day. So the reason I'm putting this out there, and it is not for the fact that I can't afford toothpaste or I can't afford cat litter for my cat, is to help people. Help people and let them know that they're not alone. Maybe YouTube can be my part-time therapist. I've always been an extremely strong person, and I didn't think I needed therapy, and not that I condoned people that went for therapy. That is actually a learning tool, and I commend people for going out and doing that. I actually have my first appointment booked in November, because obviously I'm very aware, but I need tools to get me further. Some people were wonderful enough to offer financial help. Again, that would be me taking, and again, I can't do that. One gentleman offered to set up some kind of a fund for me. I don't need a fund. I just need somebody to listen. I need somebody to take from this and help themselves, because that's what I'm all about. I know things will get better. I know that being late for my rent, again, isn't going to be every month. I hope that it's not going to be every month. So I'm going to make this short. Sorry, I didn't mean to go on for so long. But this is scary to me. I'm actually going to put myself out there anonymously as to my name, because with the business that I have been in, my name is already out there, and so I don't want to have my financial situation sway people whether or not they want to take me on as somebody that can help them out in the future. Really, I'm just rambling, and I wanted to cut this short. Thank you, everyone, for listening, and I hope this helps somebody. Have a great day.